don't know about you guys, but when I'm writing something, my brain starts bouncing around all over the place. Stuff which has nothing to do with my writing, of course. My brain's always doing that, writing or not. It's just fluttering around like a butterfly. I'm just going to go check, actually. Got something to do here. How many YouTube subscribers we're up to? See if I got an email response about a car I want to get. Oh, yeah, I got an ad read. See, it's just fluttering. So when I'm putting my sentences together, I don't want to be thinking about editing or cleaning it up or changing the tone. I can't have my fragile mind concern itself with anything other than getting the words onto the screen. And that's where Grammarly Premium comes in. Grammarly Premium helps me save time and work more efficiently. Takes care of clarity, word choice, and ensuring I don't repeat myself. It always makes sure I don't repeat myself. You can integrate it into your day-to-day or professional writing wherever you write, wherever you make it happen. Cut down on editing time and write more confidently with Grammarly Premium. Get 20% off Grammarly Premium by signing up at grammarly.com/nodunks. That's 20% off at grammarly.com/nodunks.
Doing this scream exercise, make sure you use our old buddy, Mr. Wild Smile. I'll demonstrate once more.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, November 8th. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, we got Tass Mellis.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Tass? Got my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey, yo!
Hey, yo! The international man of mystery, taking it to the Max Lee Ellis.
Friend.
And last, certainly not least, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team for joining us live right now on YouTube. Apologies for the delayed start. I guess you got some driveway work going on over there, JD. Is that what's happening?
Oh, yes. The construction continues. So much. This week is going to be a lot of noise in this one. Gonna put those leaf blowers to shame.
Oh, I can't wait. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already to No Dunks on YouTube. Like the video, comment, share the show. Christmas, too, is right around the corner. I think we're less than 50 days out from Christmas, if I have that right, which sounds insane. But I can't think of a better stocking stuffer gift than a No Dunks t-shirt or mug or some shorts. So go over to nodunks.com. Yeah, get yourself a hoodie like JD's repping there. That one is available. I also have on the no breaks, like sort of F1 style. This was like a limited run, if I have that correctly. So you can't even buy this one. You can just admire it. Looking so nice. And maybe we'll bring it back for the holidays.
Feast your eyes on this sweatshirt.
Yeah, exactly. So go to nodunks.com. Get your gear. Okay. Mondays, always action-packed. We got our winners and losers of the NBA weekend. But first, we had another Friday night wedgie. This has become a bit of common happenstance here for the No Dunks crew on a Monday morning, showing you a wedgie from Friday night. Yeah, a rare one. The oop wedgie from Mo Bamba. Tass, I'm drawing a blank on an oop wedgie even happening before. I guess it maybe has, but
yeah, not an alley-oop to a layup was Mo Bamba's trying to lay it in. We've had like thunder wedgies on an alley-oop, like trying to actually throw it in. I think DeAndre Jordan had one once upon a time. But yeah, Mo Bamba, it's like he was trying to do it on purpose there.
Crazy. So 6 on the season, decent pace right now. That's good. At least having one on the weekend is always nice to start a Monday here with. I do have a question before we get into the actual NBA weekend winners and losers. Is daylight savings time a winner or a loser of the weekend, especially for you dads out there? Trey, are you a fan? Because, here in Atlanta, sun's out earlier. It's great. Or hate it because maybe, dogs and kids and all that. What do you think?
Oh, it's a tale of two halves, J.E. Skeets. Let me tell you, I love it in the morning, seeing some sunlight, feeling like the rooster should be crowing just outside my door. Much easier to wake up when it's sunny. Mm-hmm. But then when it's 4 o'clock and it's pitch black outside, that's a bummer. In general, though, I'm here for it. I love a time change. Love to go through the house, find all the clocks. You never realize how many clocks you have until it's daylight savings time or a time change. So yeah, there's so many different ways to change a clock.
I really thought you were going with that.
Yeah, I thought I had something else there, but then I was like, I don't think anybody wants to hear how easy it was to change the clock in my 2005 Toyota Highlander, but it was very easy.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, how was your Sunday morning, I guess, Leigh, with the kids? Were they up at the crack of dawn?
Yeah, but they're always kind of up at all sorts of crazy hours, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. The only thing is, like in the Nissan Leaf that I've got, you just switch a button. So daylight saving on or off, and boom, it's done. But then you go to the microwave, and then you got the stove, and they've got a different system. The microwave, you got to press clock, then you got to press time, then you got to wait for it to say AM or PM, and then you got to press clock again.
Yeah. Trey, you were right.
On. Yeah. And then the stove is basically just clock, and then you punch in the time, the clock again, and it's done. So Do
you like to make sure the stove and the microwave are like damn near identical when it comes to the time? Yeah. So,
and one of them, I think it's the microwave. There's a lag because every probably month I have to bump it up a couple of extra minutes because it's like that one's slow. The stove is the more accurate time, but I can see the microwave first because it's more prominent there. So in the morning, sometimes I'll look and I'll say, oh, we're on time. And then I'm like, oh, no, we're not. I'll look at my phone. Oh, we're 5 minutes late. So then, what a life, man. What a world we live in.
Is this better or worse than talking about the weather? I can't decide. I think it might be worse, but all right.
Worse,
I just want to get your take.
I vote worse.
Well, I know some international, especially stream team viewers are like, this sucks. Because of where they are in the world. I mean, it could be an hour later for them, and it's already late in some parts of the world where you guys are joining us. So, that's not good. I saw some people very confused why we were extra late, I guess, in their minds this morning. Oh, DST, that did it. Well, here we are, 10 a.m. Eastern still for your boys. Okay, let's get to winners of the NBA weekend. Leigh, I want you to get us started because you had a juicy one for us. Who's your big winner of the weekend?
So I'm going to try something a little bit different for today, and I'm going to go with our first top 5 from the season.
Top 5, top 5, top 5. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Top 5 from the season? I was just wanted the NBA weekend, man. Where are you going with it?
Well, I just mean top 5, our first top 5 of the season. That's what I meant. Yeah, I don't think we've had one so far. What a crazy day we've got going here. Anyway, because Saturday night was actually a great slate of games. There was so much going on there.
Yep.
And so I was trying to pick a winner. I thought, oh, this is a winner, then that's a winner. Then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it because Saturday night, it's a bit like the Friday night. Sometimes gets a little bit overlooked, especially when you have so many crazy games that happened yesterday. Another great day of basketball. So I'm going to start, though, on Saturday night with now this is not necessarily plays or games, it's moments or things we were talking about, storylines. Well, yeah, I'm trying something different. Who knows if it's going to work, but what the hell. And I'm going to start with the late game because this one was way more about the storylines than the contest, because apparently all Damian Lillard really needed to break loose. We're seeing his old sparring partner, Russell Westbrook. Those two have a great history and a great rivalry, and it always seems to go one step further. Lillard only had 25 points and 6 assists, shot the ball pretty well by his standards for this season. It was an old-fashioned blowout, but what added to that was Westbrook had an absolute stinker in this one. 1 for 13 from the field. Anthony Davis, he just decided, you know what, I've had enough. He left as well. He had an upset stomach. That's like when I used to throw a sickie when I was like in primary school. Dad, I'm feeling sick, But Dad would always say, actually, you're going to school. So it doesn't really work in that sense.
He had a top 5 pukes, though. He puked 5 times.
I thought it was 4.
It was 4 pregame, 1 in-game. Rank the puke. Here's my top 5 segment. Anthony Davis's pukes from Saturday night. Number 5. Go ahead.
Anyway, pretty much even before the end of the game, Westbrook and Vogel were trending, I think, worldwide as well. The Lakers fans looking for some scapegoats. We got plenty early into this season.
Okay.
At number 4, from the late tip-off to the early tip-off, really fun game here turned into between the Nuggets and the Rockets. Rockets led this one with 5 minutes to go. Then Aaron Gordon hits a couple of threes late. The second one was a wild sort of swing for the fences bomb. He knocked it in, and then he was doing the old head bob. Yeah, that was my shot. It was it went in, so it's great. And then the Rockets actually had a chance. It was a 1-point Denver lead. The Rockets had a chance. Eric Gordon drives in the lane, really nice, finds Jayshawn Tate, who comes in. And then check out this block from Nikola Jokic here. It's just an old-fashioned whack Look at it. Just like thumps at it.
He blocks it on the way up.
Yeah. I mean, high risk sort of strategy there, but he got the block, and the Nuggets win that game. They hang on. So that was a very fun contest down the stretch. And then another game, great battle between probably the two best teams from each conference right now, the Miami Heat and the Utah Jazz down there in Miami. Tight first half. And the Heat basically opened this one up, 19-point lead, 6 minutes to go. And then the Jazz just started knocking in threes. Mitchell hit a couple of bombs. Mike Conley hit some bombs. And the Jazz actually got it to within a point with 10 seconds to go. Then Donovan Mitchell actually missed a three, and the Heat went on to win by 3. Tyler Hero, another incredible game by him. Missed a free throw crucially late, though. Hit that second one, though, which preserved the lead there for the Jazz. But of this game was really good. The execution from both teams, really, really high level stuff. Both teams shot the ball well. Kyle Lowry with a big triple-double there, Skeetsy. I don't know how much of it you saw of this one.
I watched that entire game. That was, to me, one of the best games from the weekend. There were a lot of great games on, you're right. And I know you're going to get to number 2 and 1 on your list here, even just from Saturday night. But it was. The Jazz Heat was a great game. He was pretty instrumental, of course.
And number 2, it is the rematch between the Bulls and the Sixers, a game which Philadelphia, I think, had control of for most of the night. Got close to the end there, but then Joel Embiid hit a game-sealing 3 and then topped it off with this beautiful trolling of the Chicago Bulls crowd here. Just a little wave here, just like,
small wave.
Yeah. And then he's like, what? Oh, sorry. I'm waving to you too. The Chicago Bulls came back late in this one and nearly stole it, but it was George Niang, the Niang gangbang, that hit the big 3, and then Embiid with the step back 3. And even, I think Trey, even though his team lost, I think he actually enjoyed all parts of this maybe not the end of the final score, but
I didn't enjoy when Joel Embiid punched Lonzo Ball in the head and didn't get even a flagrant for it. Another call Joel Embiid is getting. They're protecting this guy too much. I'm kidding. This guy absolutely kills the Bulls. 30-15 on Saturday. 9-0 right now against the Chicago Bulls in his career. I don't mind Embiid destroying them, but Furkan Korkmaz, are you kidding me? He has 8 career games in the NBA with 5 or more three-pointers. 2 of them came this week against the Bulls.
Wow.
It's time for the Furkanator.
Get him out of here. Some of those shots he was hitting were just ridiculous as well, like covered, and he was just stepping back and knocking down the 3. Also, we had a play early on off the backboard, Lonzo and Zach LaVine. Gorgeous execution. Russell Westbrook would not approve of that early on. A little bit of showboating.
He wouldn't care for that when the score was 4-2 after he threw the
And Nikola Vucevic had a chance for his patented late game 3 twice, really.
He had 2 wide open threes. One was with the Bulls up 1 with about 5 minutes left, a miss. Another one down 5 with about 36 seconds left. My sister happens to be in town. She doesn't watch a ton of basketball. This was her first time seeing the new look Bulls. And after Vooch missed that 3 under a minute, she goes, "This guy keeps missing." I was like, Kenzie, that's the story of the season right now. Nikola Vucevic, the new Carlos Boozer from the Chicago Bulls. He piles up the numbers, shooting mid-range jumpers and threes. He gets rebounds because he's the tallest guy out there, and he gets blamed for everything. One.
I was just going to say that Embiid, nearly decapitating Lonzo Ball was reminiscent of, wasn't it Boozer nearly totally destroying a ref with like a celebration punch, not really knowing someone was behind him? Yeah. You know what though, with that whole thing, like he really punched his hair in the end, I guess. If I were to play a game against Trey Kirby and I punched him in the beard, am I throwing a punch or no?
I think yes, only because I feel like we've seen James Harden get calls when he goes into the lane, kind of like chin first.
Yeah, you're right.
Gets bopped a little, they'll call it. So the nose is part of the face, and beard is obviously part of the face.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Yeah, it was accidental in Embiid's case.
Yeah,
you
got a T for it. It was. I think that was kind of right. They're like, we can't really throw him out for that, but we can't just ignore it either. So he was trying to hug everyone, and everyone was friendly with it as well. So
okay, so that's number 2. So we'll give us a number 1. We know what it is.
It has to be Luka's game-winning 3 against the Boston Celtics. Look at this play here.
God.
Now, there's some things that lead up to this, really, that Boston have to wonder about what happened, because the Celtics should have technically at least given them a chance for the last possession. There was 16 seconds left on the game clock, only 10 on the shot clock, and they had a foul to give. And Marcus Smart took it way too soon, which all that ultimately did was give the Mavericks a chance to run the clock down and take that last shot. And he took it and he knocked it in. And then also on that possession, Marcus Smart picks up Doncic as he did prior when he took the foul. But then he just basically goes off him so easily, and Josh Richardson ends up guarding him. And then Smart comes over and Williams is there as well, and they sort of triple team him. But why wouldn't you double Luka earlier in that position? Especially when earlier this year, I think it was technically this calendar year when Luka actually hit a step back three against the Mavericks when the scores were tied and won the game with 0.1 of a second to go. So I think this was bad communication defensively from the Boston Celtics to just give the Mavericks that extra 5 seconds to run the shot clock down. Incredible shot from Luka, incredible game winner. But Boston probably look at this one and just think we didn't need to foul then, even though, the foul to give, you use that because you don't want the guy to get into his rhythm. Fine.
Yeah.
But he took it too soon, Marcus Smart.
I think Udoka said the plan was to not use it either. And
is that right?
You can't use it. You can't use it because then you just give them extra time.
Yeah.
So when would you use it? With 6 or 7 seconds left in the game clock?
If you're going to use it, I would wait until at least then if Luka's getting into the paint or he's getting closer before he gets.
The plan was to not use it, and that was not relayed to Smart, or he just botched it.
That was horrendous. They gave them a shot. They gave him a timeout essentially.
Yeah,
and plan to beat him. Marcus Smart too, an incredible defender.
Yeah, because Porzingis came up to set the pick, and Marcus Smart just walked back with Porzingis there, which surprised me. I thought, well, Marcus Smart should be on Doncic. Anyway, he wasn't.
Richardson plays Doncic as sort of well as you can on the play.
He does.
What an unbelievable shot. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. But Smart, that's his guy. I mean, that's what Marcus Smart should have been doing. Anyway, great 3-point game winning, buzzer beater, great celebration, fantastic game there in Dallas. So those are my top 5 moments from Saturday night.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember what your top 5 was, but it all makes sense now. Hey, you got there. I like it. You took us through a very entertaining Saturday, and we had other games that were great on Friday night and then on Sunday there as well. So, Tass, who do you have for a winner of the weekend? You got a list for us? You gonna do your pukes or?
Here is the second top 5 of the season. Now we're just gonna go to one basketball team. It was a great weekend. Friday through Sunday, and it was an incredible weekend for the 7-4 Cleveland Cavaliers. No one expecting this team to make the postseason, and there's not a lot of spotlight on this team. There's no superstars on this team. It's a small market. I get it, but for me, I can get behind this team. It's an easy team to get behind because there's just a lot of guys that work together. It's a bit of a, like the little engine that could for me. I get pumped to watch them play. And they won a game in Toronto on Friday where they led for only 5 seconds of the game, which is nuts. The last 5 seconds, the Raptors led for 47-55. Yeah, to win a game, you have to win. You have to be leading at the end, and they did that.
Best time.
Yeah, 5 seconds left. Darius Garland hit 2 free throws to give the Cavs the lead. OG Anunoby had a real nice shot, got into the lane, a little step back, sort of leaning back on Jared Allen. He had space. He just missed. And then Scotty Barnes, who has a nose for the ball, timed it so perfectly to get the tip in, but just wasn't there. Just didn't have enough. Maybe it's because it was his first game back, but yeah, Skeets, I hear you moaning. It looked like that was the game winner.
Look, it took me flashbacks to game 1 against the Cavaliers in the playoffs when the Raps had like 8 tips, it felt like, and they couldn't execute it and get one to drop. But yeah. What do you think about the foul call on Darius Garland there? Like the trip there, where he sort of, I don't even know who they ended up giving that foul to. Was it OG or Van Vliet?
I think it was OG, and I think it was the right call. You had to see it, I think, from the cam above was the only good camera angle, but it was a swipe. It was a nice sweep of the leg to me. But it was hard to see for sure. The first couple angles, the replay.
The first, in real time, it was like, what?
Yeah, you got it.
That does not look like a foul, especially this season, but you're right. I think in seeing the replays, maybe more warranted.
Yeah, definitely Raps fans upset about the whistle, and we'll get to that in a sec. But the Cavs win that game. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, they go to Madison Square Garden versus the Knicks, and they got a special performance from Ricky Rubio. Oh. Ridiculous. He hasn't ever done this before, a career-high 37, or he was off balance, hitting shots, and he had 26 in the second half, mainly because Colin Sexton, their starter, got injured in the first half, and so Rubio inserted into the second half. 13 of 19 overall, 8 of 9 from 3. Rick Rubio.
Rick.
Yeah, the man in his 30s, he just doesn't do this kind of thing. He had 10 assists. Of course he does that, but 31 minutes, 37 points. So you may think, Ricky Rubio, 37. They win a game in the last 5 seconds. Maybe this is just a lucky team. Or is this team a flash in the pan? But I don't think so. I don't think lucky teams win on the road like this over and over and over again. They lead the league in road wins with 5. They're 5-3 on the road, only 2-1 at home. So they've really road heavy schedule. Now they're coming home. And I feel like all of them, they're sort of working together. They're just jiving right now. I think all these guys are kind of unappreciated players, like Jared Allen, when he signed that 5 for $100 million, had a lot of people in the WhatsApp group saying, "Ooh, 5 for 100 for that guy?" Well, he is worth every penny. I think rookie Evan Mobley kind of fits into that mold too. But, he does stuff on the defensive end. He's got 26 points against the Knicks on Sunday. Don't even notice it, really. 11 of 15 shooting, a ridiculous 5 assists.
I can't believe this guy's a rookie. I mean, I had some fun on Twitter because I heard Simmons' podcast a couple weeks ago, and they were making comparisons with Mobley to young Kevin Garnett and young Hakeem Olajuwon, and there was Anthony Davis comparisons in there as well. And it's like, okay, well, relax. The guy played 5 games at this point, but I mean, he is amazing. I don't think he's on that level with those guys yet. That's ridiculous, but I just can't believe he's a rookie out there. He's 26 points. Don't gloss over that. You're right, Tass. I mean, maybe people are, but the guy's known for a defensive big, but this guy's handles the ball and nice little drop-off passes inside to Jared Allen. They already have a great connection, those two giants. I'm blown away every time I watch this guy play, especially, seeing him in the Raptors game there too. So he's he in a really talented rookie class here, what appears to be, he's sort of running away to me with Rookie of the Year, because he seems he just I don't even throw at the numbers even. He just appears to be a much more confident player than what usually a rookie looks like, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the 5 assists. That's huge. Making plays out of the short roll and just handling the ball, like you're saying, Skeets. Lauri Markkanen's been out of the lineup for the Cavs. A little bit more space out there, and it's looking good. Mobley clearly is the Rookie of the Year right now. Yeah. We'll see what happens the next 6 months of the season.
Yeah, Mobley is awesome, especially on the defensive end. Him and Jared Allen. Mm-hmm. The fact that, you get switched on to Evan Mobley, you think as a guard, well, I'll take him. You can't. He is so quick with his feet. He's so good on the offensive end. The guy does it all. I think him and Jared Allen, they're sort of benefiting from this physicality that's not being called. This is the one team that starts 2 7-footers. The Raps complained on Friday that they lost the free throw battle 19-9, and maybe, they get a bit of a benefit just because they're huge. So it helps out. If anybody benefits, I think it is the Cavs to some degree, but they're just awesome defensively. And go even further down the list. I mentioned Darius Garland hitting those free throws. Another underappreciated guy, played with USA Basketball this year. The good article by Kelsey Russo on The Athletic about him being sort of the vocal leader in that Raps game where they were down for 47 minutes and 55 seconds. A Cavs team in the last couple of years would not have won this game, but they've got sort of older, young guys with some old souls, and Garland, I think, and Jared Allen, and guys who pull each other together. And then, of course, Rick Rubio with no Sexton out there. That's where I thought this team had a chance to be in the playoffs. And then Ricky Rubio, as I said in the offseason, would have a chance at an all-star game, only if Colin Sexton was out. But all those guys I mentioned could be an all-star, and I'm not joking around now. Now it's getting serious. I don't think Ricky Rubio by any means is a lock, but I put it out there on Twitter, and I asked, this team is 7-4. They're going home now. If this team is 4, 5, 6 in the Eastern Conference, they could easily have one all-star. So I asked the people, who would it be? Would it be Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, Colin Sexton? I don't think it's going to be Evan Mobley as a rook. I just don't think that's going to happen, but it's a tough one. And people out there thought Jared Allen, even despite it coming right after the Ricky Rubio game, I thought recency bias would be huge for Rubio, but he is coming off the bench most of the time. So people thought Jared Allen, 40% of the people out there voted for Allen, 39% for Rubio, and then Garland and Sexton splitting the rest of it. So I think it's a tough one. But who is the most valuable Cav? It's kind of hard to say. Yeah. That's why I thought Rubio would kind of be in that D'Angelo Russell role from a couple of years ago with the Nets, playing with Joe Harris and Jared Allen. And they picked D'Angelo Russell just sort of as, you're the best player, I guess. But all these guys are they're just solid. And so I'm looking forward to this 4-game homestand. They get the Wiz first at 7-4. I think they're going to win the East.
Oh my
just
goodness.
kidding. Just kidding.
I mean,
just
the Cavaliers did start 8-7, if I remember correctly, last year. Like, it was a good start.
9-8, I think.
Was it 9-8?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They were above 500, 20 games in, or approximately 20 games in. And, then, of course, what'd they end with? 22 wins or something?
Not a lot of wins.
Not a lot of wins. But, I think they're a different team this year, and I think Mobley is a huge part. I mean, he has to be on that poll, in my opinion. Like, do any of these guys make the All-Star game? It's still probably far-fetched, but he would be on there above probably a Sexton at the very least, who hasn't had an incredible year. If you call this, though, Tass, this will be your greatest prediction of all time.
Yeah, I think
if Ricky Rubio legit makes the All-Star game with the Cleveland Cavaliers in year 10, off the bench for the most part, like, that would be your greatest prediction ever. I almost want it to happen. Like, I was beaming ear to ear watching Ricky Rubio splash 3 after 3 in MSG going, oh my God. What does Tass know? Is Tass like Biff Tanner somehow?
This is the guy who said Bryn Forbes was the best under-the-radar signing heading into the last season. Then he outscored Jimmy Butler in the playoff series. What does he know?
It's crazy. He's got the almanac. I'm convinced.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I thought they would deal Colin Sexton by this point, and Ricky Rubio would be the starter with all these solid players. I just believe in the makeup, and as Trey mentioned, no Larry Markkinen right now. Kevin Love is out. Isaac Okoro is out. But it doesn't really matter. JB and his Bickerstaff are just putting together guys who want to play. And you said, I'll correct myself. You're right. 8-7, and then they went on a bad run. They finished 22-50. So it's that 14-33, 14-43 the rest of the way.
Woo.
No. I'm not.
Yeah, well, that was also because Andre Drummond was playing almost too well for them, and they were like,
true.
"Hang on a minute, we don't want to win here." So I think that was part of it. They were sort of playing such good basketball. They were like, "We want a high draft pick." Turns out that they got a great one in Evan Mobley there.
Yeah, smart. All right.
And that's why the GMs picked him as the best player in 5 years. Didn't pick him for Rookie of the Year, but they said maybe a big guy. It'll take longer to develop. But month 1, he's going to be Rookie of the Month. Do they have Rookie of the Months for October? I guess not. They didn't announce it.
I haven't
They
heard
didn't
it.
announce it. Yeah, I guess no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only they start the season. When do we start?
You got like a week and a half, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
What's up with the Knicks defense, though? Knicks defense is not looking good. 26th right now. And it just seems like the guards against the Knicks can basically get anywhere because, they've subbed in Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. Not necessarily lights out defenders. Their offense is a lot better this year. But I would have to imagine Tom Thibodeau doesn't like trading defense for offense.
No. Nope. Just lost my man TK. I don't know about you guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's glitched out.
Come on,
but we got what he was saying.
Come on, Biff.
This is happening. Oh, but he's really frozen.
We'll get to the Knicks a bit later because they had a weird old weekend. The New York Knicks, incredible one night, and then yesterday. I think it's just that now the expectations make it a little bit tougher for the Knicks to play at home. They're 2-3 at home. Those fans after that opening night are like their expectations are so high though. Now there's a little bit more pressure. I think because that was a great win by Cleveland yesterday. And Ricky Rubio, I mean, you mentioned the 8 of 9 threes. That's always been his Achilles heel is consistent shooting. But that shot yesterday just looked perfect. It looked beautiful. They were swishing through just like any other normal high percentage shooter. But you just know with Ricky, it's going to tail off at some point this season because he's just not consistent enough.
Yeah, I was TK's back. I was joking on Twitter that yesterday's Knicks-Cavs game, they were playing for a spot on No Dunks for a winner of the weekend. Like if the Knicks win that game against Cleveland, they're an obvious winner of the weekend after that monster comeback on Friday night against the Bucks. But instead, Cleveland goes 2-0, and they get the honors there from Tasmella, especially with Rubio going off. All right, TK, you're back, baby. What do you got for a winner of the weekend?
I had an intro here, Skeets, but I'm a little nervous, so I'm just going to say it really quickly. JD, roll that beautiful beef footage, please.
Richaun Holmes had 20 rebounds. That's a king-sized beef. That's a lot of roast beef. Which is rebounds.
Oh, yeah. First big beef of Richaun Holmes' career. Also had 23 points, so his first 2020 game of his career. Also the first Kings beef since... Who? 2016 was
2016.
weird. It's been a while. This man beat
DeMarcus.
Yeah.
That's right. DeMarcus Cousins had a lot of 20 rebound games, but sixth big beef of the season overall, which means we're right on pace with the Wedgies for 54. Good to see that. This was part of a huge Kings win Friday night. They beat the Hornets 140-10. Kings very close to being named winners themselves. Couldn't quite pull off the comeback against the Pacers. And for all the Pacers fans out there tuning in, this was their first win in Sacramento since 2018. So there's something nice for you about the Pacers. Yeah. Big blowouts on Friday. Kings beat the Hornets by 30. The Wizards had a big win we'll get to. And the Warriors beat the Pelicans by 46. I feel like we had a weekend like this early in the season last year where there were just suddenly 3 30-point blowouts in a night, which is why it was good that Saturday night happened and we actually had some close games.
That's true. Well, let's get to the Wizards because they're a winner of the weekend for sure. And we won't ask Lee to talk about them because we know how he feels. They beat the Grizzlies and the Bucks, though. That's great. And Beal, Lee, I know you like Beal, so maybe you're happy about this. He had his best game, I'd say, of the short season here on Sunday. 30 points on 22 shots, chipped in 8 assists. He did have 6 turnovers. You don't like to see that, but in terms of scoring the ball, that's pretty efficient. And this bench right now, they contributed in that game against the Bucks, but it's Avdia, Montrezl Harrell, Neto. Those 3 guys coming off the bench, they play a lot of minutes. Like he has 8 guys right now until junior where he plays over 20 minutes. Beal gets the most. He's the superstar. And then they give like 10 to Holiday, 10 to Kispert, and that's the rotation. And it is pretty impressive. They're missing guys too. Obviously, no Bertans there, who is out with an injury now. Rui Hachimura, I don't think he's played at all this season. He has stuff maybe going on off the court. And who's their big guy that they're missing? Thomas Bryant out with injury too. But here they are. Kuzma doing the dirty work. Like I said, Beal had a good game. And Lee, you tried to say a nice thing about them on Friday's Drop podcast. You did a piss poor job, if I'm being honest. You fired up the Wizards fans even more. But they had a good weekend here, and they are 7-3 here through 10 games, which is surprising to a lot of people, I would admit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what I've said about the Wizards is they've got the pretty solid veterans across there. They've got the star in Bradley Beal, but I also just don't think they're top 4 in the Eastern Conference. I think they're playoff material at their best, but that's about. I think they're probably first round material. I don't think they're going to get any further than that. I don't put them past. And some teams aren't playing all that well right now. But like the Bucks, for example, not playing all that well. I don't think they're better than them. I don't think they're better than Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Chicago, even right now. So that's all I'm saying about Washington. Is like it's probably a better season than last season, but it's not. I mean, let's not get too carried away right now. That's all.
Sure.
Listen, they turned Westbrook on. Like that Westbrook
deal.
My
pants and take a big crap over the Wizards. Perfect weekend when my shitty Wi-Fi struggles to keep up.
I know. What a crazy day this is here. But look,
why do you keep saying it's a crazy day? It's not really that crazy.
It feels crazy. It's daylight saving. I'm all over the place. I can't handle it. But look, getting rid of Westbrook's deal was fantastic because they've got the guys like Kuzma and KCP, and Montrez is always that like, I'll prove these other teams for letting me go that they made the wrong decision. And they're playing like that. Yesterday's game was a weird one. They started off real hot. Bucks came back, and then the Wizards hung on to win at the end. So that's all they need to do is just keep on winning and keep on making life difficult. But I'm still not convinced that they're top 4 in the Eastern Conference. That's all.
Well,
I don't know if that makes me a hater.
Did you see Stat Muse's tweet? Their top 10, the Wizards are in record, points allowed, rebounds, blocks, threes, offensive rating, defensive rating, net rating, field goal percentage defense, and 3-point percentage defense. And then Stat Muse tweeted, after all of that, unfortunately, none of their players are averaging a triple-double. Oh my God.
Got him.
Jesus. The shade thrown from this Stat Muse account.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
Stat Muse is more than just numbers these days.
No doubt.
I
More
like it.
stat memes. But they're right. They held the Grizzlies to 35% and the Bucks to 39%. Basically, they traded triple doubles for 5 guys who will try on defense. And it seems to be working, at least early in the season, especially because Beal hasn't really been playing that well yet. He shot better than 58% from the field in both of these wins over the weekend, which is good. Had his second 30-point game of the season, which is also nice. So as he continues to improve, just a deep team right now with a star at the top. So they should at least be in the play-in to playoff mix.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm looking forward to Wednesday. They're going to Cleveland. Those two teams are sort of equal right now to me in the tiers of the Eastern Conference. They would be in the sort of the tier, fighting to get in. The Wizards, the Raps, the Hornets, and the Celtics, I think, are in that tier. I don't know about these Atlanta Hawks, but anyways, the Cavs 7-4 against the Wiz 7-3. That makes for some excitement down there. The East is getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Leigh, who do you believe in more? Their hot start, the Cavs at 7-4, the Wizards at 7-3.
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Yeah,
I think. I think the I think the veterans on the Wizards is probably a little more sustainable because Evan Mobley has been fantastic, but he potentially will hit the rookie wall at some point. And Jared Allen, I mean, if you can keep him out of the paint, then he may not be as effective, although he banked in a great 3 against the Raptors there on Friday night. And again, we just saw this hot start from Cleveland last year before it tailed off. So I think the Wizards veterans are more likely to at least sustain it, I suppose.
There we go. I got something out of him. There you go, Washington fans. He believes in them more than the Cavaliers. Okay. A couple mini winners of the weekend here before we take our first break, and then we'll get to losers of the NBA weekend. Otto Porter, Otto Man, hit 3 threes during a 40-second sequence for the Warriors. Yes, he plays for the Warriors. Some of you may not know that. Late in the first half of Sunday's game. Another win for Golden State here. Jordan Poole starting to look like that finals MVP that he's going to be. He's gone for 31, 26, and 25 now in his past 3 games after a very, very slow start. Warriors have the league's best net rating at +13, league's best record at 8-1. Now, I will say, schedule has been kind to them. They're in the middle of an 8-game homestand right now. Just sort of weird. But they opened the season with 2 wins over the Lakers and Clippers. Obviously, solid teams. They played the Kings, beat them, OKC twice, Hornets, Pelicans, and Rockets. Their only loss was an overtime defeat to the Grizzlies back near the end of October. So not the craziest schedule there, I think we would all admit, but awesome at 8-1. And Anthony Slater wrote about the Otto Porter. This was pretty important because foul trouble had bit them in this game. A lot of guys have been to the bench, wobbling a bit, danger of losing the lead, but Porter just pops off there, and suddenly it's a double-digit cushion while Curry and Green are resting. Just incredible shooting from a lot of these guys, Tass, on the Warriors. And I didn't think they'd be 8-1. I don't care how easy the schedule maybe looks. That's fantastic. And this is with no Clay, of course.
Steve Kerr is like a kid with a new video game system. He's pushing all the right buttons. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
I was going to say, when I watch my godson play video games, he pushes all the wrong buttons.
What's up with him? He's
a
6,
kid.
isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
he should know how to play a video game
not
system.
right away. You got to learn. But anyway, keep going.
Kids learn like that. Anyway.
I kick his ass at Mario Kart, so he's not that good. Yeah.
Wow, there's no buttons in Mario Kart. It's a freaking joystick, mostly. But you got to use that R1 or whatever it is to get off those jumps. Right?
That's right.
People don't know about that. Keep telling Danielle to use it. She's like, nah. Whatever.
I don't want the boost.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're not going to beat me. Anyway, you're not going to beat my little guy, my little ghost guy. What's his name?
What? What do you mean? Your character?
Yeah, my little ghost man. He's not Boo.
Not King Boo.
Okay, whatever. Not King Boo. Anyways, who cares? Steve Kerr is pushing the right buttons. He's got not only Otto Porter, but we're talking about Gary Payton II. And is he going to keep playing? Well, he's like the dive man. He's playing like a center out there on alley-oops and stuff. Anthony Slater outlined this perfectly. Gary Payton II is a guard who plays defensively. He's a specialized player, comes in to strip guys at the end of quarters. But now he's playing basically with 4 centers out there, and he goes and gets alley-oops, and they're running plays for him. It's pretty cool. And Otto Porter, 5 threes in 18 minutes in that game. That bench, Nemanja Bjelica, Jordan Poole is going to be there eventually when Clay comes back. They got Damian Lee and Gary Payton and Otto Porter. There's a connection to the Magic I know you want to get to, Skeets. Otto Porter was on the Magic last year.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. It was part of the Vucevic
easy
deal.
to forget about Otto Porter. Otto man. Was it Shy Guy?
It was Shy Guy.
Shy guy.
There. Okay.
Nice one.
Okay. Good job, Andy. That's the character that Tass is destroying his
Shy
life
Guy,
with.
forget it. He's fast.
It's super fast.
Zipper.
Leigh, do you ever play Mario Kart? I have to ask.
Not for a while, no. But I'm probably going to get back into it now with a 9-year-old hankering for what's it called, a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. So yeah, I mean, I've sort of resigned myself to the fact that it's video games time again in the house, so I have to brush up.
Who was your favorite character back in the old days?
No idea. I wasn't really big into it. I used to play a lot of just NBA Jam or NBA Live. Okay. Wasn't a big Mario head, so.
Okay. I just wanted to know if you used the big guys or the small guys, but you don't even remember.
I honestly couldn't even remember when the last time I played Mario Kart. Probably not in the 2000s. Probably late 1990s was the last time I played.
Okay, that's a while. Trey, are you a big guy or a small guy or a medium guy when it comes to Mario Kart?
I always choose Waluigi. I actually do like Waluigi. I prefer a generally heavier guy. I want the big time top speed until you bump the shy guys out of the way.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
It's just slow acceleration out of the blocks.
Right. Way slow.
Cole Anthony, let's give him a winner of the weekend. He scored 10 of his career best 33 in the fourth quarter to help the Magic beat the Jazz 107-100. Maybe a little hangover there from the Jazz game night prior against the Miami Heat, where they came back, made it interesting. But yeah, they fall to Orlando here. He was awesome, hit 13 of his 20 shots, 5 of his 10 threes, and then had another just classic walk-off interview where he is staring into our souls at home, dropping just facts on facts that was that Dante or Galante? I could never remember who was doing the interview. Test, help me out.
I think it's a Dante.
Was that Dante? I think you're right. Where's Galante? Do you use Dante or Galante when you play Mario Kart? But Cole Anthony, just we've seen this from him before, both on the court and off the court. This guy is must-watch television. I know Tass, you were tweeting that video, and it was getting a lot of clicks because it's pretty damn funny. He's a hilarious guy.
This guy's a performer.
Yeah.
He was just working the camera. I mean, he wasn't really listening to Dante. I guess he sort of was. He was just looking at the camera saying facts, Dante, facts. Not sure what your name is, but facts. Yeah, he was killing it.
Are saying, yes.
Yeah,
it was like a Magic Johnson tweet though as well. He's like, shout out to Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Shout out to my team. Shout out to the Magic. Let's go.
RJ Hampton played well in this.
Yeah, RJ, you shout out to
Trey and I love to see. We love RJ Hampton ever since talking to him on a Top Shot stream.
Seems like a good guy.
Yeah, we like him. And Wendell Carter had a good game for them too, and Mo Bamba as well. So yeah, that was a good win. I know a bit of a schedule loss maybe for Utah, but
who cares?
Cole Anthony is
coming off. I lost the night before though. You know, they're not there to just say, all right, who cares? We'll mail this one in. And Cole Anthony earned that in that last quarter. He went at Gobert as well and hit a big floater, or not a floater, but a pull up jumper, mid ranger over him. I mean, he won that game for Orlando. He deserved that. It was just a bit. Honestly, a bit creepy the way that he was staring into the camera.
Loved it. It was like a wrestler cutting a promo for us. National treasure, says FL Warrior. Do a deep dive of his post-game interviews. Yeah. Could we put together a good top 5 Cole Anthony interview moments? I don't know if we have 5, but
I bet it's close. Even his his draft was pretty exciting because Spike Lee was there in attendance and he started celebrating when Cole Anthony got drafted. So maybe that'll have to be our third top 5 of the season.
Jesus. Well, I'd like to do top 5 Mario Kart characters. Actually, maybe I could slip that in before we get to the Cole Anthony one. Finally, Tass, you got a little mini one you want to throw in here for a winner of the weekend?
Yeah, why not? The Phoenix Suns, Frank Kaminsky. He's smart because he told us so. He's filling in a little bit because DeAndre Ayton is out with a sore leg for the Phoenix Suns. So 2 games, Frank's gotten some minutes. He's scored 17 and 16 in those games where he had some significant minutes. And this was his quote after the most recent win over the Hawks. He said, quote, "I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. I don't think that's a secret. But I've always been able to affect the game with my mind and how I see things. It's always been a strength of mine." Just love that quote. I'm smart, and that's how I score, buddy. So yeah, he's balling a bit out there. Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank getting a little mini winner of the weekend. Okay.
People forget Frank the Tank is a walking bucket.
Uses it all with his mind. That's how he's scoring. Yeah, okay, we got to take our first break. Let's take our first break. When we come back, losers of the weekend. Trey, what do you got?
Oh, a new advertiser for the Donkey Boys today. Canva Pro, a design platform that empowers you to create and share stunning content in just a few clicks. And I got to say, I'm legitimately excited to be doing this ad read because, as I mentioned, my sister is in town visiting this week. We started talking about content slanging since she's deep in the social media game as well. She's making graphics and videos for her real job and for her small business. And when I asked her what she uses to do all that stuff, much to my surprise, her answer was Canva Pro.
Whoa.
Legitimately, she loves it. She's been using it for a while. Asked her why she likes it. And I'm not joking when I tell you that her answers sounded like advertising copy. And I quote, "It's great for big businesses and small businesses alike." She actually said alike to me. I couldn't believe it. She said designing with Canva is amazingly fast and fun. And of course, she mentioned that Canva Pro has endless premium fonts, photos, videos, and more. That one I actually did read from the ad copy, but the alike part was 100% factual. I asked her if we should be using it, and she said totally. It looks great, and it's so easy. You are the best big brother there is. So take it from me, who's taking it from my sister. Designing together has never been easier. For just $12.99 a month, you and 4 teammates, hey, that adds up perfectly for the Donkey Boys. We can unlock everything Canva Pro has to offer, and right now you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/nodunks to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/nodunks. Canva.me/nodunks.
Guys, if you ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there is no better time than now. This week, our friends at Simply Safe are giving No Dunks listeners 40% off their award-winning home security. We love Simply Safe around here because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. 40% off. I got Simply Safe when we moved into this place back in April, and I paid full price. I should have waited until November to move in here, but you know what? I'm not mad. I can, I love the thing. It's awesome, and I installed it myself, which made me feel really good about myself because it was super easy. You can customize a system for your home online in minutes, and even get free custom recommendations from Simply Safe. These are Simply Safe's biggest discounts of the year. You can get a complete home security system starting at just over $100. There's no long-term contracts or commitments. It's a really easy way to start feeling a bit more peace of mind. Take advantage of Simply Safe's holiday sale and get 40% off your new home security system now by visiting simplysafe.com/nodunks. Again, that's simplysafe.com/nodunks for 40% off your entire system. Hurry, because this offer ends soon.
Finally, raise the bar of your entertainment with Sonos Beam, the compact, smart soundbar for TV, music, and more. I got one. JD, I think you got one as well. And
oh yeah,
this thing is sick, guys. The first thing we used or watched when we set up the Beam was The Harder They Fall, the new Netflix movie, Western. Oh my goodness. The vocal clarity, downright scary, I'll say. It's incredible. And I know this is a great product because my wife and I, we didn't get into an argument when it came to mounting it because it was very easy, very, very simple. So that was great. And then you get the app. We already have the Sonos app. Boom, it's right there. And there's a fun part. JD, did you do the whole, I think it's called True Play, where you tune your speaker and like have your phone out and you walk around your room and it's like, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Just, I guess you're sort of just setting up the acoustics of your room with the Beam.
It's reading the room and it tells you exactly how to fill the room up with sound. It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I just did it twice to make sure we really knocked it out of the park, JD. I did it once. Right. It was fine. I was like, I'm going to do this again. It's like 60 seconds of me walking around the room. And you got to be extra quiet. So I'm like, don't say anything. Don't breathe, Nora. Get the dog outside. We need perfect sound in the room here. Setup is a breeze. Only 2 cables, automatic remote detection. So go get yourself a Sonos Beam. We have the Move. We use that a lot. That's the portable one that we can take around. But now this one in the bedroom, firing up League Pass games at night, Leigh, and it's just again, you can hear the bing bongs in MS2. It's that crystal clear, even when they're losing to Ricky Rubio going off. So go to Sonos.com to learn more. Again, that's Sonos.com. Okay, let's get to losers of the NBA weekend. Tass, why don't you get us started? Who's a big loser?
The Los Angeles Lakers, they're now 5-5. They've lost 2 in a row, and they lost to Portland by 15 on Saturday. And Leigh mentioned it earlier. It's a blowout. It wasn't even close. Now, they've got worries. Anthony Davis left that game. He's got a sprained thumb that he's playing with, and he puked 5 times. That's a bit of a worry, but that's not even their biggest worry. Russell Westbrook, rough night. 1 for 13 against Portland, couple air balls, 6 turnovers. But he's playing a lot better than that in general. That's not their biggest worry. The biggest worry is LeBron James. He's missed the last 2 games with an abdominal strain. The Lakers said he'd be out a week, meaning he could come back this week, approximately. They just threw it out there, at least a week. That's what they threw out there. But that seems to be careful wording by the Lakers, because if you look into it a little bit further, this abdominal strain could last longer. And Lakers' former head strength and conditioning coach, Tim DeFrancesco, was interviewed by Bill Oram of The Athletic, and he said those injuries usually last more like 4 to 6 weeks. It's a 2-3 week minimum, and LeBron obviously is a superhero physically, but 1 week is not going to happen. So he is going to be out more than just into this week. It should be next week, the week after. It could be the week after, and it's hard not to think of, if you guys remember, his first year in LA, where he finished the year with a groin strain, knocked him out for 17 straight games. And there was just, the idea there that they weren't really in the, they're dropping out of the playoffs. So they missed the playoffs. So maybe they just sat him out. So maybe that could come into play here. He would come back earlier, but the same sort of attitude could also come into play. Hey, it's November. We could just wait it out a little bit longer. So can they hold up without LeBron? Or are they going to drop out of the playoff picture with the way they're playing? Because they're not really playing with intensity. You've got Dwight and Melo calling him out. Not a lot of effort. It's not a lot of effort happening on this Lakers team. And Frank Vogel says we can't run the defense we want to run because guys are doubling, but they just don't come back after the double. They're not scrambling enough, so we've had to pull back on those doubles. So many injuries, not even the ones I mentioned. Ariza, just the depth there. The young guys, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn haven't played a minute, and then LeBron. So I don't know what the worry scale is for you guys, but I'm it's inching a little bit higher considering Anthony Davis could miss games with the thumb, not the vomits, the thumb. And then it's just the Russell Westbrook-led team, generally with a lot of injuries. Trey, what's your worry level?
I feel like I left a candle lit at my house and went out for a fun evening of doing events, because I'm a little worried as well, Tass, especially because of the ab strain. And ab strain, the first one I think of is Chris Bosh against the Indiana Pacers years ago. I don't know why that one comes up, but that kept him out for quite some time. And it can linger a while because, as DeFrancesco mentions in that article, this is the sort of thing that you aggravate quite a bit. Like, for instance, on a massive tomahawk dunk, which LeBron is known for. So I would be a little nervous about that, because right now, like you said, Tass, they are a Russell Westbrook team, and you would much rather be a Westbrook team at the end of the season than at the beginning of the season, because Bill Oram dropped 3 crazy sentences about this game against the Portland Trail Blazers. Here they are. You can find them at The Athletic. Westbrook shot just 1 of 13 from the field and committed 6 turnovers. That's an okay sentence. He just had a bad game. Westbrook also airballed a 16-footer, airballed a pull-up jumper, and failed to hit the rim on a driving layup. Getting worse. Mm-hmm. Final sentence. At one point, he muffed 2 shots at the rim on a single possession, eventually committing a turnover before he could commit the third. That's bad. That's just getting worse and worse and worse. They need Anthony Davis to take over this team. This needs to be an Anthony Davis team if they're going to keep pace in the Western Conference. Otherwise, you're waiting to adjust to playing alongside Westbrook. I think Frank Vogel calling out the doubles on guards is a nice way of calling out Russell Westbrook for not being super engaged defensively and giving those second efforts after a double team. So To me right now, the Lakers are a little bit where the Wizards were this early in the season last year, where you're like, this is looking bad. Surely things will improve as LeBron gets back and as they adjust to Westbrook. But in the Western Conference, you could lose some spots. And that's exactly what happened to the Lakers last year. They ended up in a much tougher first round matchup than they were anticipating. LeBron and AD both miss a little time. Season over.
Yep. 5-5 for the Lakers right now. A lot of "this is fine" comments in the stream team, alluding to the fantastic meme. Yeah, it's not great right now, and some pointing of the fingers definitely going on with this team. And who knows how LeBron is out. Leigh, let's keep it moving though. Who you got for a loser of the weekend?
I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks because they also had a pretty rough weekend that started at home Friday night against the Knicks. They were up big. They're up 21 points, and it looked like, okay, the Bucks are going to flex their muscles here. They have only won one home game this season. That was opening night against the Brooklyn Nets. But then the Knicks stormed back and not only won this game, they were themselves up by 20 at one point. I think the final margin was 15 points here, and the Bucks just looked really bad in that second half. The Knicks just pounded Milwaukee at home. So you think, okay, that's one of those losses. A 20-point, you blow a 20-point lead. That happens in the NBA. Every team can have that. But then yesterday against the Washington Wizards, another chance for the Bucks to sort of get back on top. They're going, in fact, I think today to meet the president, Joe Biden. They're going to the White House.
That's right.
You'd think they'd maybe feel like, okay, we're in a good mood. We're going to go out there and get a win. Start off bad. They do get back into this one. This one wasn't a blowout by any means, but Milwaukee lost again. Now, they sort of have some built-in excuses here because Chris Middleton's out right now with coronavirus, so who knows exactly how long he'll be out. He's been vaccinated, so I expect once he can test negative, I think within about a 24 to 48-hour window, he can probably return, but we don't know when that's coming back. But Brook Lopez is a concern for them because he's been out with this mysterious back injury, and they're not really saying when they're expecting him back. And I think that's a big part of the reason why their defense has really fallen off this season. They're just missing his presence there. So, look, Drew Holiday did come back this week, so that helps them. And they've had Giannis out there. So anytime you have Giannis on the court, you're not that short-handed. You've still got, one of the most dominant players in the game today. But the Bucks right now are not playing very well. And they're only 4-6, 1-4 at home. As I mentioned, they only had one home win, which was that very convincing victory on opening night. And since then, it feels like basically Brook, Chris, Drew, and Giannis have barely played together since that moment. So I think, again, early in the season, they've got plenty of time to recover and overcome what's happened to them to start with. But, and Bobby Portis, I should say, as well, came back. So they're not, the injuries are a factor, but they're not the whole reason there. They're just not playing very well at either end of the floor. So I expect they'll be better. They'll probably finish top 2 or 3 in the Eastern Conference, but things aren't going all that well for the Bucks right now.
Yeah, I guess it was at the end of last week, right, Tass? Where we were asking each other, are you worried about the Milwaukee Bucks and their slow start because they have all these injuries built into maybe an excuse? But, it continued over the weekend where they didn't look all that great. The Knicks game was weird.
Yeah.
It is weird to see a team up 20 and basically lose by 20 in the end because New York just went on an insane run. But what level of worried would you be? You left the oven on at home? While you're out doing events with friends, as Trey said.
I love doing events with my friends.
Never heard somebody say it like that. But yeah, what do you think about the Bucks, Tass? Have you cranked it up at all here?
A little bit, yeah. I think last week I was, let's say, in terms of worry level, I was late for my flight. But now I think my tummy is a little bit upset while I'm also late for my flight. I think it's combining because I think Giannis really misses Brook Lopez behind him. They've always played together, and Brook Lopez's importance on defense it's been pretty prominent. And now they're trying to fill it in with Giannis at the 5. It's just not his bag for an entire game while he has to carry an offense, or Bobby Portis. And I think Brook back there is really, really important. It's just the way that they've played. I think Giannis just likes the familiarity of all that. So it's not necessarily a worry because of their roster makeup, but because of their injuries. And Middleton will help us. I mean, they're missing those 2 really key guys, and Drew Holiday was missing for a long time. So now they're relying on a bunch of different guys. In the Eastern Conference, they should be fine because, the Sixers are doing a great job, and we'll get to more of them. But the Nets aren't really running away with anything at this point. So I think they'll be all right to be up towards the top of the conference when all is said and done.
What was the most extreme worry on our worried scale? It was your daughter was dating a
Biker.
guy with a motorcycle or something. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember them all.
It feels like that.
A guy on a motorbike showed up and took my daughter out to events.
Picking her up for the local events. I'm a little worried offensively for the Bucks as well. They've scored under 100 in 4 of their last 5 games. A lot of that is probably because Middleton and Drew Holiday have both missed at least some of those games. And, the perimeter players after those two aren't necessarily creators. So it's hard to get really worried about the Bucks as defending champions who win 60 games year in and year out, but they're certainly sputtering to start the year.
Sorry, still with the just saying they have motorcycles on this planet. Whoa! All right, Trey. Losers of the NBA weekend. What do you got?
A couple of great bloops from the events this weekend. Our first of the bloopers: James Harden against the Pistons on Friday. He kind of mishandles the ball here. It looks like it's going to be a backcourt violation, but you definitely got to grab the ball in the backcourt for it to be a backcourt violation. People were calling this James Harden glitched. Did he just forget the rule? Did he think it was going out of bounds? What was the deal there?
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
He just didn't see the Pistons. It was at Stewart, wasn't it? I think on his tail there.
Bay, maybe. Yeah, it's Bay.
Yeah.
Bay, and I don't know how he didn't see him though. Like got
a second look here. Beautiful stuff here on the stream team.
Yeah.
The Harden stands are going to be upset with this, though.
Yeah.
No,
We're giving him a loser of the weekend. He actually had a good game.
He had a good game.
Yeah. Okay.
He's glitching though. He glitched on Sunday against the Raptors too.
Twice.
Yeah, I didn't get the
Second
ball.
glitch.
Balling up on the defensive end. The Nets grab a rebound, like normal. Ball given to James Harden, and he just sat there with the ball like out for anyone to grab. Like he was handing out candy at Halloween. He knew that there were Raptors circling him, but they just gave the ball away. It's like something just shuts off.
Get the poll up. Who glitched harder in the last 48 hours? Trey's Wi-Fi, Lee's Wi-Fi, or James Harden? The human.
I wish mine was Wi-Fi, Skeets. I'm plugged in here. I think we got too many streams going on. As I mentioned, my sister is in town doing some online events, it appears.
Hey, Kenzie, turn the Canva off.
I messaged her and I said, hey, are you online? She said, yeah. Do you need me to get off? I said, well, I'm lagging and the stream team is dunking on me. I'm looking like a loser of the weekend here. She said, I'll get off. I will get off. I like this suggestion from Ziggy, though. Just kick it, man. just kick it out of bounds. Yeah. That's only one bloop, however. This, to me, was actually my favorite bloop of the weekend. Michael Porter Jr. on Saturday against the Houston Rockets. Wide open breakaway layup. Maybe a dunk. What? This looked like a guy I played basketball with named Tom Michelson. Sorry, Tom Michelson, but this guy could not finish a layup. And that one looked like MPJ's legs did not look like they were working. We're talking about Brook Lopez with a bad back. This looked like a Michael Porter Jr. with a bad back. I don't know about y'all. Which was worse, the Harden glitch or the MPJ botch? What you think, Lee?
Well, the Harden, because the Pistons went in and scored immediately from it. It was just clear laziness. But so was Michael Porter Jr. because he just drops his head and then trots back. I mean, if I'm a coach, I would be furious with my player for just like, I botched that and I'm not going to get back and try to make up for it. Like, I mean, he kind of is hobbling, maybe, but that's weak sauce. You want to run that out. Who was it from the Spurs? I can't remember, from early in the season who got cut. Greg Popovich cut him.
Luka Samanic.
That's right. Yeah. So we've seen that. But James Harden, for those who don't like his defensive effort at times, this was just fuel to that fire because he was just like, nah. I'm not even going to try here. And yeah, I was watching that Raptors game yesterday, and there was twice where he was like close to center court, largely at fault for a turnover, and basically was the last person to get over the halfway line as well. There are times where Harden does that slappy behind the back or that half-hearted jump to try to block the ball when he's just like, nah, not this time. Sorry, fellas, I'm not defending.
All right, final loser of the weekend, at least in terms of a big one here. I think Tassie got a mini one to slip in, but the Hornets have to get a loser of the weekend if we're looking at teams. They lost both their games over the weekend, of course. 140 to 110 in Sacramento, and then they lost 120 to 106 versus the Clippers. So after this very hot start to their season, everybody going crazy about the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, we love them. They're the league pass darling. Oh my God, they can do no wrong. Their losing streak is now up to 4 games, and they've lost their last 3 by an average of 22 points. And I will say, Leigh, last night's loss particularly painful because they trailed by 2 points entering the fourth. They started the quarter on a great run, 15-4, before LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward checked into the game. And then from that point on, the Hornets gave up a 27-4 run with those two guys going scoreless down the stretch, which was weird. And then after the game, LaMelo was asked from Ben Golliver about James Borrego's rotations. And I guess he wasn't happy. He just had a weird quote. He said, quote, "I feel like I've got to be in there longer for the fourth quarter. You feel me? I feel like I came in a little late in the game. If not, I feel like we could just let the squad go that was going." So again, he's like, maybe I should have been in there earlier, but then, hey, they were doing well with that 15-4 run. Maybe like last week where he couldn't stop talking about Ish Smith and saying, no, it's fine. Like, let him cook. If we win the game, we win the game. This is LaMelo Ball saying this last week. He's saying, like, just don't pull me back in. Anyway, really strange. And again, the Hornets, after a really, really strong start, are floundering here a little bit, Leigh.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to make their weekend even worse, but I was working the trade machine because they desperately, I've mentioned this a lot, they're just way too small inside or just not effective when you got Plumlee and Richards in there. They're
dead last in defense.
Oh, yeah. And again, you saw Richaun Holmes have the beef against them as well. Like, they just can't sort of get a stop, and teams score too easily against them. If you're going to have no interior presence, then you've got to stop people on the perimeter, and they're not able to do that either. So, tough. The old trade machine, once it gets you in there, you get sort of caught up in what makes a deal work. But that's the toughest thing. Like, what asset?
You make it sound like once you fire up the trade machine, you accidentally traded your youngest son for one.
Well, the thing is,
it worked.
Damn.
I've been down that path before, and it's
Hollinger says +4 wins in the house. Sorry, Scott.
It's so hard to find what a deal like could happen, who's available, who could be available, and then in turn what you have to give up to get said piece. Now, obviously, LaMelo Ball and Bridges are completely off the table. I don't think the Hornets trade them at all. I think everyone else is. I think you could get Gordon Hayward. I think that's gettable. He's got that big contract. Rozier as well. You'd be able to give up him. So what do you get in return? Now, Mo Bamba didn't get a contract extension there from the Magic, but he's actually been playing pretty well. I don't think they're going to give up him unless, again, why would they unless they get back something super quality in return? Miles Turner, if that relationship has come to a sort of coming to a conclusion there with Indiana, same thing. What has Charlotte really got that makes Indiana go, okay, yeah, well, we'll give you him. So this is the tough thing for the Hornets. There's just not a lot of available big guys that they can go and get that they've got in return to be able to, entice somebody. And that's going to be a huge problem because they had Zeller last year. He's now in Portland, and they replaced him with Plumlee. It's like for like. There's not really any change. In fact, you'd probably almost take Zeller. Well, you probably
say white for white. What did you say?
No, and they had Bismack as well. At least they had sort of some athleticism there. They don't really have that at the moment. So
PJ Washington is hurt, I believe.
Yeah, he's hurt, but even
he plays as their center.
Exactly, he's only 6'7" as well. They just need sort of rim protection, rim deterrence at least. They don't have any of that right now, and that's a problem. So I couldn't come up with a deal that's realistically possible.
Okay,
but if the Pacers say, listen, okay, we're going to move on from Miles Turner, but it's going to cost you 2 first-round picks plus, whatever can make it work. Maybe there's something there, but again, I just don't even think that that's likely to happen. So they're in trouble there, Charlotte, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get to them a little bit later in our pick'em because they're still on their West Coast swang, and they're hanging out in LA and they're going to face the Lakers. And who the heck knows who's going to win that game? It's a tough pick for all of us.
Oh, this isn't bad. I mean, could they make a move for Precious Achiuwa from the Raps?
Who are you trying to steal?
Who would the Raptors want?
I don't know. I just I think he could be had. Let me put it that way.
Probably so.
Precious play.
I'm trying to look for a big man named Terrence so I could make a joke on Lee's rim deterrence, as he said. Maybe there's, but no, Terrence Ross, Terrence Jones ain't around.
Bring it back.
Where you at, Terrence Jones? Yeah, Boucher.
Terrence Cummings.
Yeah,
Terrence
people are saying
Cummings.
Boucher as well. Yep.
Boucher, that's been extremely disappointing in Toronto.
Yeah,
Very
he's struggled.
talented dude. Yes. Yeah. Out of the rotation right now. I mean, he's could be pushed out of the rotation.
They need some defense there. Whether they just ramp it up themselves, Leigh, or make a move and
Well,
get some
exactly.
get somebody that can help because they're dead last. It's not great. Okay, Tess, you have a mini loser of the weekend you want to slip in here?
Yeah, it's tiny. George Niang of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's balling off the bench. He's doing a great job coming over from the Utah Jazz this offseason. He hits threes. He does his thing. But this comment from Joel Embiid, his new teammate, glorious. So funny. Joel Embiid said, I used to think he sucked, honestly. He told reporters that this weekend, as Lauren Rosen transcribed it. He said about his new teammate who's balling, I used to think he sucked, honestly. Then he went on and said stuff like, obviously, he's doing way more than just shooting threes. He's a competitor, brings so much joy to all of us on and off the court. I'm just glad I have him.
I
so
think that
sweet.
part might be even weirder. I don't know why. I'm just glad I have him. Just collecting a George Niang.
Maybe his best bud.
Yeah.
Maybe all this, the roller coaster that is the Ben Simmons scenario. Maybe George Niang's is Joel Embiid's best friend, and it's such a hate-love relationship because he used to say I thought he sucked, but now I'm so glad I have him. So that was nice. I mean, I call him a loser because Joel Embiid thought he sucked, and the Niang gang was probably all over Joel Embiid for that one. The Niang gang is relentless, as we know. Fans of George Niang, but the guy is doing so well. He had a big shot late in that game against the Bulls, even though he had to struggle most of the game.
Yeah.
Beat the Bulls twice, obviously, sitting at 8-2. The Philadelphia 76ers are the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
That's right. Good weekend for the Sixers there. And yeah, that was a pretty funny quote there from Joel Embiid. We got to take one more break, but let's get this news in here. We have to address it. The Blazers announced early Saturday morning, if I have my timeline right, like late Friday night, super early Saturday morning, just trying to maybe dump this news out there, that they have retained an outside law firm to, quote, conduct a full, fair, and independent review into alleged concerns about the workplace environment caused by President of Basketball Operations Neil Olshey. Complaints include intimidation, profanity-laced tirades, and bullying. So we talked about the Sarver and Sons investigation that the NBA is going to be doing last week. And now we have this one. This is not an internal one, but the Blazers doing it themselves, Trey, to look into whatever allegations that are being put upon Neil Olshey and what's going on over there with the Blazers. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy is exactly right. And I don't know, it just to me is more on the plate for the Portland Trail Blazers. They've had a pretty rough go of it the past 6 months, getting eliminated in the playoffs against the Nuggets when they didn't have their starting backcourt. That looked bad. It seemed like Damian Lillard was going to be forcing his way out of Portland. Obviously, that didn't transpire, but they didn't do much over the offseason except for bringing in Chauncey Billups, which was a mark against Neil Olshey over the summer. People were saying he should probably be fired after the way last season ended. That didn't happen. So now they've got this hanging over their head for however long. The question for me is, why is this coming out now? Maybe it's just, the timing of it is certainly weird. Throw it on a late Friday night, maybe an early Saturday morning. Hope people don't pay too much attention. But I don't know. Neil Olshey has had some minor success for the Portland Trail Blazers. He's put together a decent squad around Damian Lillard. They went to a conference finals once upon a time. But I don't know. They haven't gone quite as far as people would like. There's no doubt about it. And they keep running the same team back. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually plays out and what we hear from the investigation outside of the Temper Boy stuff.
Yeah. I would recommend firing up The Athletic. Go to theathletic.com/no-dunks. Get yourself a subscription if you haven't already. Jason Quick, who covers the Blazers task. I'm not sure if you had a chance to read that over the weekend. I thought had a really fascinating column on Neil Olshey. And yeah, about how the temper that this guy does have on him, that's, been illustrated multiple times. And I'm not saying that's enough to be canned, but this is where the investigation is going to look into whether he has crossed lines or not. Did you get a chance to read that though?
I did. Jason Quick is fantastic, has been around the Blazers forever. I mean, it feels like we've been doing this a long time. Jason Quick's been writing about the Blazers and in those locker rooms and scrums for like 25 years, I think. And so, that was a fascinating read about Neil Olshey, who hasn't been there obviously that long, closer to a decade. And it's interesting, obviously, as Trey mentioned, up against Robert Sarver, owner, versus a front office executive and Neil Olshey. All of this evidence against Robert Sarver and the working environment there, over a 17-year period versus Olshey, under a decade without, the 70 different interviews that have come forward or that have been conducted in the Phoenix Suns investigation. Different scenarios. It's easy to lump them together because they're happening right now, but an investigation is always a smart way about going about things. If there isn't anything to, investigate, then there wouldn't be an investigation. I think that it's not just nothing, and everybody wants a great place to work. So I find it interesting, anyways, that it's happening. So I'm hopefully it wraps up quick and they know what's going on. But the investigations, I guess, are ongoing in 2 different franchises right now.
Yeah. Anything to add, Lillard?
Just that in that article, Neil Olshey basically acknowledges his temper is his biggest weakness. And so, it leads to a lot of these, I think, confrontational things. And that can lead to an aggressive, uncomfortable working environment. So the fact that the owner has employed an outside counsel to try to investigate it is not good. But the fact as well that it's taken this long, if he's had this reputation, tells me that perhaps they overlooked it for a while as well. So I'm not sure. I mean, these things are they're just ugly to read, and you hope that they get to a resolution as quickly as possible, because you don't want to have to work in an environment like that where it's very uncomfortable for everybody.
You interviewed Neil Olshey at our summer league game, right, Lee? When we called that summer league game a few years back.
Yes, and honestly, I felt it was tense. It was because
sounds like it was a crazy day.
Well, it was summer league, so that's usually the best time to get any coach or GM, anybody. Everyone's loose. Everyone's
been in the pool all morning, having some Coronas.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, I felt he was because he was basically the only person we could get as well. No one else would come on camera, and I felt that he
was the only person you could get, mate. Don't put that.
Well,
on
I was
me.
trying, man. I was trying to get Joey
kidding,
Crawford. Joey Crawford wouldn't even come on, and I remember him coming sort of to the interview, and I was like, oh my God, he doesn't look happy right now that he's has to do this. So anyway, it was fine, but yeah, well.
He came up and he's like this just dude in shorts broadcasting a game. Like what the hell kind of immature amateur hour this is, man. I wouldn't be happy.
Hey, it's summer league. He was in shorts. I think we were actually.
He wasn't working.
He's always working. You're at summer league. Of course you're working.
That's why he's so stressed.
Yeah.
I don't remember the interview at all, Lee. So, I mean, I don't remember what he said. I don't remember what you asked.
It was just one of those like in the past where
I'm just saying. I don't mean that as a diss.
when you've laughed and had some fun and stuff at summer league like that. I was like, oh, this is I would have rather Joey Crawford. At least then you sort of expect it to be a little bit.
Holy shit! You're a bad interview when you say, "I wish we had Joey Crawford."
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
We can replay that. I know we're posting a lot of our classic videos on the No Dunks YouTube channel.
Classics. Yep.
Yeah, why not repost that interview? Sounds pretty classic. I've got it on my computer. It's the full broadcast of the summer league game. It's about a gig.
Wow.
The file's about a gig.
Wow, Blazers Spurs, right? Is that right?
Yeah, Blazers Spurs.
Okay.
I can ship it on over to you, JD. You want to post that today? The Neil Olshey interview?
Send it over. Send it over.
Certified classic Lee's summer league interview with Neil Olshey. All right, maybe it is. I can't wait.
Make sure to put tense in the YouTube description because that'll be popping. It'll be popping right now.
Probably capitalize this word.
Like the red-faced angry emoji, a couple of those, a couple snorts. Wait, man, clickbait. You're right. That's how we get to 50K, man. We gotta start diabolical with it.
Yeah, drop some likes right now. If we get 1,000 likes on this video, we're gonna post the Neil Olshey interview.
We're gonna bury him. We'll put him over the top. Okay. Let's take our final break. Then we'll get to a very fun tweet of the night that I want to hear everybody in the stream team's responses to. We got pick 'em results and all that. But Tass, what do you got, man?
Look, this isn't a humble brag by any means, but at No Dunks, sometimes we get boxes shipped to us. We have no idea what they are. We get on our Slacks and say, what is this? What's this box at my door? Well, I got one. It was Cometeer coffee. Cometeer coffee. It goes in my freezer? What? Coffee that goes in my freezer? I don't have space in my freezer. I've got cheese pies on cheese pies on cheese pies. Frozen coffee went into my freezer. I had to, cook up some cheese pies. So I cooked up some cheese pies. I played with the dry ice. The Cometeer came in, and I had my coffee. Yeah, that's fun. Super fun. Anytime you can play with it, put it in the sink, smoke it up. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So Cometeer coffee, pocket-sized recyclable capsules. You melt your coffee to make it. No equipment needed. These capsules, like those other capsules, like your standard coffee capsules, but these are recyclable, baby. Anyways, plan for the morning. Ready to go. Danielle got to it first. She just added hot water to the frozen coffee. Done. No equipment needed. As I said, she added a little milk, and she really enjoyed it. I had mine black. It was so quick to make, very convenient. It was definitely smooth, and I like having a big cup of coffee because I've been an espresso bro recently, so I like that contrast. And we're running a little late, so it was nice not to have anything to clean up. And as I said, I'm a recycle man. It's nice to have the first fully recyclable capsule. No more taking capsules somewhere to recycle them. As you guys know, you got to go take them to.
I do that. Center. I got to do that today. Yeah.
Yeah, and they end up smelling like ash. They literally smell like ash after a while. Not ASS, but they smell so bad after sitting there. So it's nice to just be able to go to your recycle bin, give it a hug, and put in those recycled capsules. Anyway, we've got a special offer just for our listeners. For a limited time, you can get $20 off your first order, 10 free cups, and shipping is always free, but only when you visit Cometeer.com/no-dunks. I can't read. That's Cometeer. Cometeer. I was skeptical. I mean, it's brewed coffee you melt to make, but Danielle has already requested we get some more.
Ooh.
She better go to Cometeer.com/no-dunks to save $20 on her first order. Cometeer.com/no-dunks.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Did you miss the biggest sports headlines from last night? Ever wonder how that might impact this week's bets? Relive the best in sports from the night before with BetMGM Tonight, presented by BetMGM. Live shows are always the most fun and authentic, and with BetMGM, that's what you get. BetMGM Tonight is a high-energy live destination for your casuals and hardcore fans alike. So for everybody, it's engaging, polarizing, relevant. Get caught up in the sports betting world with a heavy dose of entertainment. Every detail matters when making bets. BetMGM Tonight dives deeper to help give you the edge, not Bono, the edge. It's fun to bet on the game. It's even more fun when you've got the inside scoop. Tune in to BetMGM Tonight, presented by BetMGM. Listen on Odyssey, Spotify, Audacy, AUDACY, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Can you say that again? One more time? Name of the company?
Odyssey.
It was like me saying
Cometeer
Cometeer
again? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Cometeer, but I don't know. Cometeer. Come over here and have yourself a frozen coffee.
To ask a lot of people in the stream team, you kept saying cheese pies. A lot of people confused. What's a cheese pie?
Heaven on earth. It's a pie full of cheese.
So it's like a meat pie, but with cheese. It's like a spinach pie, but with cheese.
Is it a cheese pizza?
Yeah, it's like a cheese, but it's on the inside. It's not on
so
top.
It's more. It's not like a pizza. More like
it's like quiche meets meat pie meets
cheese.
A Greek man. I don't know. Like cheese. Yeah, it's cheese with pastry, like phyllo pastry wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Serving frozen.
Sounding quiche like for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it savory or sweet? It's savory, my friend. Andy B.
Right.
Andy B. Quiche almost, says Tomas Carnero.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese? Good question. Whatever you want. Usually feta, of course, as Salty T says.
Okay, man. Let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Yes. Tweet of the night actually comes from somebody on Twitter, Treey Kirby.
Oh, I follow him.
Treey Kirby. Now, this, I believe, is a man. I guess it could be a woman. Retweeted something with, what would you do? This is what this person was asking. And there was a photo attached that asks, well, CG actually asks, after we had a basketball hoop installed on our driveway, our next door neighbor said she'd let me know when her baby was sleeping so my children wouldn't play during her baby's nap. There are more than 50 kids on our block, and they play all over the neighborhood. How should I respond? So, Leigh, quite the dilemma here. What would you do, as Treey Kirby asks?
Well, look, there's 50 kids out there playing. I mean, you don't know what the baby's nap schedule is.
Yeah, she's going to let
play.
you know.
She's going to let you know.
She's going to let you know, baby's sleeping, don't play.
You have to say, listen, there's 50 kids out here, we're playing, I mean,
Got a tournament.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, the baby doesn't need silence to sleep anyway. Turn that white noise on and baby will sleep anyway. So,
Right.
I don't think it's reasonable to say to 50 people, like, you guys have to wait till my baby's finished napping before you can
How
play.
many kids is reasonable?
No, it's like, again, those early napping schedules are all over the place anyway. So how are the kids supposed to know? Like, she's going to come out every day.
She'll let you know.
Yeah, but okay, what happens if the baby's having a bad day sleeping anyway? That's the counter.
So
here.
true.
Okay.
No, look, I just think it's very, very tough to say, can you 50 not play just in case my baby's going to be napping?
I don't think she's asking all 50 kids.
Yeah.
She's asking specifically for the neighbor, his kids, his or her kids.
I don't think it's not like a basketball bouncing is not like, a leaf blower that's driving everyone crazy. Kids are having fun, they're playing. I mean, play ball, man, play ball.
Okay, so what are you saying? You're saying tough shit.
Well, yeah, not like that, but I'm just saying.
No, let me see your baby. I'd like to tell your baby to his face.
Just say,
Tough
well,
shit,
if we're playing, though, we're playing. I mean, we can't sort of be expected to work around the baby's schedule. Sorry. I mean, there are things you can do to help that baby sleep, like put the white noise on. So,
Wow.
Okay.
So diplomatic.
Yeah. JD,
Straight up fuck off from me. I'm going to buy a whistle and I'm out there reffing. I'm calling everything. Everything.
A lot of fouls.
yeah.
Okay.
You go to watch The Quiet Place. Get one of those boxes that Emily Blunt has. She put her baby in it with an oxygen tank. If you're really that concerned, little mask. Ever see that movie, Quiet Place?
I did.
What kind of box? I've never seen The Quiet Place. You say a box.
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
very...
Tassie, you got to see it. It's great. I watched The Quiet Place 2 last night or the night before. Oh, so
I haven't seen that one
so
yet.
good.
I'm happy.
it's great.
I'll get Danielle in on that because, she is a little like this storyteller here, this tweeter. She doesn't like people bouncing balls. It's happened before. Neighbors bouncing, leaf blowers blowing, and she's extremely concerned about her child sleeping. Listen, you can't do anything about it. People got to live. You can't just go out there and regulate. You're not Warren G. This ain't the Freakniks that's like rocking the house. I say business hours, 8 to even extended 7. People can do whatever the hell they want. When it's late, all right. I've had to get out. I've had to get out there and shake some fences, rattle some cages. Hey, shut up.
Shake some fences.
You know why I say shake some fences? Because I literally went over to a fence and I had to go over a guy's fence and say, "Shut this party down."
Wow.
Young man.
There's old man fence shaker coming back.
I was definitely nicer than that. I don't have the balls on me to say, "Shut it down." But I asked him. I said, "Hey, it's late. I got a child. Literally can hear your freaking." It was a Halloween party, so it was. They were playing some Michael Jackson. They're playing some Thriller, and they were dancing out there, and it was giving my kids nightmares.
What time was it?
10.
Okay.
It's too late.
It's late.
Too late for me.
Okay, but
No, it's early. It's 11, Tess. 11. Come on, man.
11's when you're calling. Yeah, in
You're
Atlanta
the party
for sure.
pooper of your neighborhood. Holy.
No, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, for sure.
just
You
like
might
a
have
whole-
an SUFU straight up. Fuck
Yeah.
off. I guess that ends with an O.
It wasn't about me. It's about my family. I got to do what I got to do to protect my family.
Okay.
God.
From Thriller.
From Vincent Price.
Listen,
Nobody
you can
wants
turn
to
on
hear that
anything
one.
else. No more Thriller, kid.
Well, Trey,
Oh, and
I mean-
hey, to be clear, I see
What?
the stream too. I'm not saying F off to the baby. I'm saying F
I
off
am.
to the baby's mother. I mean, come on. I wouldn't say that to a baby.
do you think the baby might be embarrassed for all we know? That
a baby
Their
would be
mom.
mortified that their mother is out there saying, guys, just shut down this basketball game because my kid's trying to sleep. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
That kid is going to be using that basketball hoop in 3 or 4 years.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, JD, because here's the response in Real Simple Magazine.
Okay, here we
you
go.
have the actual magazine.
Yeah, this was, I've been doing some research for recipes here. So CG asked Catherine Newman for her advice, and Catherine Newman responds, "Someone has made a demand you have the right not to accommodate. So how can you maintain a cordial relationship with your neighbor without shutting down the kid's fun? Brainstorm with her. We had good luck with a white noise machine. Or is there a nap room on the other side of the house? Remember, your big kids were napping babies once. One day, her wee one will run around noisily with the pack. If there's a compassionate way to emphasize the commonality here, try that first."
Okay. Trey, could you just flip through that real quick? Is there a cheese pie recipe in there?
Let's see if we got any cheese pies. Oh, they've got a great pull-apart bunt cake in here that looks tremendous. Look at this. Look at this. Come on, look at this. Buttery pull-apart rolls.
yeah.
That looks nice, right?
Great.
I mean,
I would have never think to put rolls in a bunt pan, but
yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
does look
cake
good.
or
But
is it
okay, back
bread?
to the response. I mean, I don't think that was great advice, if I'm being honest. Like, this woman with the baby is being anal about her baby sleeping. You don't think she's thought about a white noise machine or has looked at her house layout and wondered if she can put the baby somewhere else? Like, I don't know. To me, it's like you're being annoying. You just want everything quiet, and we have a bunch of kids in the neighborhood. Sorry, that's not how it works. Here's a real estate agent. Move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. These are kids. They're playing basketball.
It's good for the baby to sleep with some noise, right?
That's right.
Get used
Yes,
to it.
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
what they say. And get sick
Yeah.
while you're at it. Kid, get sick. Develop an immune system. Bring over tell their kid to bring over that dirty basketball and shove it in my baby's face, please.
All right. I didn't realize, Trey, that you actually had that magazine, that you had taken that photo.
I think he's gone again.
Oh,
I think he's
no.
frozen.
Mackenzie, get off the internet. Jeez.
Kenzie.
Oh, wow.
That's a great face. That great frozen face there
Yeah,
that Trey's
okay.
making.
Can we
Hey,
go to
hey,
him?
hey.
Go to him solo. It does look good. Maybe
Hey,
it won't. Hey.
there he is.
Okay.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. Well, while JD's still there, are you still there?
Yeah.
Hang on, where are we? All right. Oh, he's gone. JD, look, here's
Yeah,
me and
yeah,
Neil
yeah.
together. Look, you saying, I'm dressed casually. We're dressed exactly the same there. Can you see that?
I can see that. I was just giving you a hard time. Just teasing you, mate.
Maybe that's why he's
Teasing
upset.
you.
He's like, this guy's dressed exactly like me.
Yeah. We're wearing the same
Is
shorts.
this guy mocking me? All right.
He's taking it to the max. Just like you.
My neighbor just came over, said the baby was sleeping. I can't be screaming so loud while I'm over here.
Oh, goodness, this is a fun Monday show. Pick 'em results.
Crazy
Friday
day.
night's game. Knicks, Bucks. Bucks were favored by 5.5. This is, of course, brought to you by BetMGM. It was looking good for Milwaukee and everybody that took them in our pick 'em, but as we said, Knicks stormed back, bing-bonged them to death, got the victory. Tass, nice win, nice comeback. You're 4-1. Lee's first loss of the month. He's 4-1. And Trey and I bringing up the rear here at 2-3, falling a few games behind you guys. Tonight's game, though, Tass, I know there's there's got to be like 7 or 8 games on. Where are we going?
Yeah, it's a full sked. The interesting one to me is the Charlotte Hornets remaining in Los Angeles back-to-back. Lost to the Clippers last night. Now playing the Lakers, so they didn't have to travel. The Lakers are at home as a 2.5-point favorite. Both teams are 5-5. It's going to be a high-scoring one. That's why I'm comfortable taking the Charlotte Hornets, as is Trey, Skeets, and Leigh. Laker bros. Leigh, I think his exact quote when we picked this was, Lakers, I guess.
Yeah, yuck. When I just
yuck,
looked
right.
at this, I was just like, I honestly have no idea which way this is going to go. If Anthony Davis plays, I think it favors the Lakers. Who knows if he's playing or not? I think that's all home win. It's almost like the Lakers are just due for one of those like shake it off wins, but the Hornets are due for one as well. So
Leigh was so disinterested in this game, he didn't even use an emoji. I could have said, just give me the Lakers.
I should have just put the vomit emoji and just said, there you go.
Oh, that would have been good. Okay. Well, good luck to both teams. I hope the Lakers win by 3 or more points. So I could use a win. I mean, I'll admit, I'm not doing well here with these to start the season. I've already reached the point where I'm like going against my pick because I'm so terrible at it. So I'm like, I thought the Hornets. Like, no, don't. Just swerve on my own pick. So that's where I'm at it already. Not going to sign here November 8th. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Send in your questions all week long. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Hit us up on Twitter @NoDunksInc. Or you can drop a comment below the vid. Grab yourself an Athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/NoDunks. And like I said off the top, Christmas right around the corner. Go get some No Dunks gear for you or your family members or friends. Go to NoDunks.com for t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and shorts and all that good stuff. Oh, guys, what can I say? Crazy day.
This has been a crazy day, man.
This has maybe been the craziest day I've ever experienced. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if the Lakers win tonight, Leigh called it a, quote, shake it off win. And I do believe Taylor Swift's banner is hanging in Staples Center. The TV broadcaster should take a shot of that. The producer should say, get a shot of that Taylor Swift banner. This is a shake it off opportunity for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's all I got to say. No real ending. Okay, see you later.
Embrace the crazy day, people.
You could stay